Get up. You need to get up. The leopard was licking at your blood, the she-wolf circling you, the lion baring his teeth. I told them to leave, but I do not know how patient those sinful beasts are. If you do not get up, they will drag you down. If you do not get up, they will eat you alive. Slowly. So get up. Good. Now then, you should not loiter in this forest for much longer. You should be home, yet you find yourself here, at the wrong side of the threshold. Who am I? I am no one, and I am the only one. That is all you need to know for now. But I ask you the same, wanderer. Who are you? Yours is a good name, a powerful name. But you have already made a huge mistake. You never give away your name so freely, especially to a demon like me. Indeed, I am a demon, but, as you caught my eye, that makes you an especially lucky lost soul. I do not wish to feast upon you. Instead, I desire to make a deal with you. Do not refuse me yet, wanderer. Indulge me, and just let me explain the terms. What more do you have to lose? Good. Now, I assume that you do not just stumble upon this place. You came here with intention, with purpose. You came here seeking something. Armed only with your guitar and fine features, you are dangerously optimistic. But your hope is refreshing. It smells of summer apricots and orange blossoms. As a wandering mortal, you are in grave danger, even while outside the gates of hell. This is a land that will drain you of your vitality, your virtues, and eventually, your life. But you must have come to this forsaken place with a purpose. Why else would you be here? So tell me, wanderer, what brings you to this land of ash and regrets? Love. Oh, forgive me. I do not mean to be rude. But in the name of all that is damned, are you really so foolish as to think that you will succeed in your endeavor? You are serious? Ah, very well. You are here in the name of love. A foolish, but noble goal. And do you know the name of the demon you seek? You seek the Morningstar himself? Well, you certainly think highly of yourself to request an audience with him. If you agree to a deal with me, I will help you achieve this goal. I will escort you safely to his icy throne, but I cannot guarantee your safety once you stand before him. What do I want? Freedom. I will take you through literal hell and back, if you survive. But when we stand at the border of your mortal realm, I ask that you take my hand and lead me across the threshold. You will not find a deal that works better in your favor. Those are my terms. Collateral. Oh, I suppose that too should be discussed. As with deals of this nature, you, a mortal, will put your soul on the line. If you do not uphold your end of the deal, your soul shall be mine, to do with as I wish. What I shall offer you as collateral is what you gave away so recklessly. My name. If you have even the basest understanding of this realm, you know that knowing a demon's name gives you power over them. Think of it as your safe word when around me. So, do we have ourselves a deal? Excellent. Now then, let me take your head in my hands and seal this pact. With a kiss, of course. Not on the lips, but here, on your brow. The seal should be easy to see, as it will deter other demons from approaching you. See? The heat from my hands on your face is not burning you. The pact is already protecting you. So here, lean down and close your eyes. The pact is sealed. I am the first and true wife. I am the one who would not kneel. I am the stealer of youth and the flame of feminine desire and strength, beauty and sin in immortal flesh. My name is Lilith. Yes, I am she, and I see the fear and uncertainty in your eyes, but I assure you, I intend to make the most of this arrangement. Come, take my hand, wanderer, and try to ignore the warning atop the gate that lies before us. Lasciate ogni speranza voi ci entrate. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. There are such sights ahead of us, but keep your gaze fixed on the horizon. Well, you have made it through the gates. There is no turning back now. Yet you still stride onwards, head held high. There is something admirable about that, or incredibly foolish, but that is yet to be determined. We have made our pact, and I swore to keep you safe. I am a woman of my word, and always will be. True, I am a demon, but I am also a woman. The true first woman in that garden, where the lion lay down with the lamb. And do not forget that fact. No, just stop right there. Yes, I am sure you have questions regarding that place, but I do not want to talk about it. Save your voice and your strength for when you stand before the Morningstar. Trust me, you will need it. Brace yourself, wanderer. You will hear them soon. There. You hear them, can you not? The uncommitted. The ones who took no side, not good nor evil, but driven by self-preservation, refusing to take a stance, even against something they knew in their hearts was wrong. Cowards. It was pathetic little worms like that allowed so many horrors to go unchecked in the world, because they stayed silent when they could have taken action to stop it. Like those fools who took neither side when the Great War began. What war? The only war that mattered. The war that split the world in two. The war that made hell. The war that turned brother against sister. That told them all to choose a side. From soldier to storyteller, everyone had to choose. The ones who did not are here. Do you see them, wanderer? Let me rest my chin on your shoulder and see where I'm pointing. Look to the river and the mist that licks the shore. Do you see those twisted shapes staggering through the mist? Some with the twisted remains of their wings. Others have plucked them to pieces by their own hands. Why would they do that? Do you see those dead trees along the shore, like grasping tendrils of grey and white bursting from the stones? Those clusters high in the dead branches are wasp nests, and while the uncommitted angels race ceaselessly along the shore, the wasps are drawn to the sweetness of their heavenly bodies. They burrow among the feathers of their wings, stinging, biting, tearing. And those selfish angels scratch their wounds until they pop and bleed, feeding the maggots and worms that live between the stones of the Acheron. Why are they running? A good question, wanderer. We all have different theories. Some demons think that they have simply gone mad, or they run to find a way of escaping this eternal damnation. I think they do not realize the rebellion of angels is over. It has been an eternity thrice over since then, but they are trapped in the fear of choosing a side, locked in the constant anxiety of choosing whether to stand with your family on a side you do not agree with, or falling from grace for a cause you believe in. You feel sorry for them. That is very kind of you, wanderer. You have a good heart. Neither of us can begin to understand what that war was like. I was not present for it either. He and I were the afterbirth of that grotesque violence. I see that look. I will not apologize for my vulgar words. This journey is going to bring out a lot of ugly memories. We should keep moving. Those wasps might take a liking to us, and we should not keep the ferryman waiting. Karen, it has been far too long. How have you been? Stoic as always. We need passage across the Acheron. I know you do not allow the living to cross the river, but this wanderer has made a pact with me. You know the strength of that bond, the laws of this perverse kingdom. I may come and go whenever I desire. I just happen to be escorting someone with a little more life in them. They are under my protection and guidance, and you shall grant us passage. Thank you, old friend. Come, wanderer, and keep your hands inside the boat. Sit beside me and rest your head on my lap. It'll be a few hours before we get to the shores of Limbo, and you should try to get some sleep. Once we reach the other side, the great journey will truly begin, and we will not likely have another chance to rest. Do not worry, wanderer, I will keep watch. The passing souls may try to climb into the boat, and we may catch the attention of some passing devils, but they can see our mark and will not bother us. Hopefully. So rest. Listen to the lapping of the water, and try to ignore the smell of sulphur and salt. Let me comb your hair with my fingers. I know that you love another. This is not about me trying to seduce you. You are under my protection, and I need you to be strong mentally, not just physically and spiritually, because you are going to help me get out of here, and I need you in one piece. Thank you. Now, lie down and try to relax. She does this with you, doesn't she? When you are afraid or uncertain, when the nights are cold and your mind is full of vipers. You miss her very much, I can tell. But just hold on to the love you feel for her, and you will see her again. Awaken, wanderer. We are here. Thank you, Karen, for everything. I will keep that in mind. Take care. We are passing through the lands of Limbo, wanderer. If I had not found you lurking outside the gates, this is likely where you would have met your end. Or perhaps not. Some have walked into these lands and returned unscathed, even succeeding in carrying a few souls back into that green world above us. Though some is an understatement. In truth, only one has journeyed into these lands and back again, safely. But he was mighty, and had been blessed by light, empathy, and kindness itself. I only caught a glimpse of him, as he escorted some supposedly important people out into the light. A harrowing of hell, as it were. And for just a moment, he looked at me, looked right through me, and saw me not as a demonic queen. He saw me as the woman I once was. And he smiled. But that was him, and you are you, and I very much doubt that you two share the same body and blood. These are the lands of the lost, the ones who did not, or chose not, to let his light shine across their souls. But they were not sinners. If anything, these were noble, intelligent, kind souls. But because they were pagans or unbaptized, they remain here. I see that look, and trust me, I wholeheartedly agree. The rules are unfair. And at the end of the night, the divine hypocrite always wins. I am not sorry for speaking my mind, nor should you be. Holding your tongue is for church. You are walking through literal hell, so do not be afraid to let a little sin out while we walk together. It is a rather stunning sight, is it not? This is an odd circle of the abyss. While we are very still much in hell, those that reside here were not cruel, or hateful, or selfish. Unlike those foolish, indecisive angels, these souls were once great men and women, figureheads of intelligence, wisdom, and courage. They made poor choices, but not enough to deserve an eternity of agonizing torture. This is their domain, an endless world of grey skies within a cavernous realm. Soft flames to light their paths, a city where these souls may find some level of reprieve, but never fully rest. The closest to some idea of heaven that this realm has to offer. It is rumoured that the Morningstar himself designed this place, from the memories he has of his once glorious home. The punishment here is never being in the presence of God. Look! Do you see that great castle just beyond those hills, with the large dome to the south? No, there. See where I am pointing? See the 7 rings of gates, and the beautiful flowing brook. There are wonderful people there. The Trojans, the Romans, Julius Caesar, Saladin, and many other political and military leaders of great courage. Or perhaps you care more for philosophy. Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, Diogenes, they all rest there, debating endlessly amongst themselves. Would you care to visit them? The meadows that surround the castle are rather beautiful. No? You wish to press onwards? Others would leap at the opportunity to speak with such noble dead. You must really love her. Do not mistake me, I am not suggesting your lack of devotion. All I am doing is informing you of some of the more interesting aspects of hell. I have spent many years in limbo, conversing with those great minds. I merely thought you might enjoy their company too. Perhaps on the way out with your beloved. I am sorry, but I believe you will be leaving hell in a haste. Just be sure that you do not look back, or he will manage to drag you back down, and he will make sure that you never see each other again. Are you quite sure you do not wish to speak to these wise souls? They may offer you noble advice for the journey ahead. Still no? Oh, very well. Let us continue. But be warned, wanderer. What's come so far was the easy part. The journey ahead is long and will wear you down. And be warned of the temptations that lie ahead. Be careful, wanderer. We are beginning our descent into the true punishments of hell. What came before was practically a soothing walk. Now, the true journey begins. There will be many eyes on us, on you. So stay close, and remember why you came here. Think of her. Hold on to your memories of her when she was full of life. Tell me, what color were her eyes? Beautiful. Think of that color as we continue, and the lands around us slowly pick away at your senses. It will get worse the further down we go, until it leaves you a husk, and you forget why you came here in the first place. But I know this will not be the case for you, wanderer. At least I hope not. We must speak with Minos soon. Always an unpleasant experience. I say we, but I will be the one speaking to him. He may think you one of the souls set to be judged by him. Minos is a stubborn one, and powerful. Not as powerful as I, but all of us in relative hellish high standing should be somewhat civil to one another. Even if he is the son of an ancient god and a dead king of an ancient land, he is still just one more soul that resides here. He just has a little more responsibility than most. What should you expect to see? How you would imagine an ancient king to appear. Regal bearing, long white beard, keen eyes for judgment, wears an ancient crown of gold and gold adornments upon his neck and wrists. But he is about as tall as a sentry tower, with serpentine features. Rather standard when it comes to hellish incarnations. But here he is now, so remember to hold your tongue.
Lilith, little queen, it's been a while. And you bring this curiosity with you. Another lost soul from me.
Not quite, Your Highness. They are with me. They are not to be sorted and thrown away into some dark corner.
What makes them so different? They're a rare breed. A sacred soul touched by the profane.
They have made a pact of protection with me. I am escorting them through these lands.
That explains why your perfume lingers over them. And what else do I smell?
Minos.
How about this, little queen? Let me enjoy the scent of this rare soul, and I will let you pass by untouched. I also won't tell Lord Ashmedei that you're about to go strolling through his domain. But I can't guarantee that your intruding guest won't catch his attention.
Very well, but make it quick. Someone down below is expecting them, and it would be rude to make her wait.
Thank you, little queen. Now then, just like all mortals, you have a chance of standing before me after you have passed. Where shall you go? Oh, you have love in your heart, desire that runs deep. You are so very full of love. Possibly on the border of obsession, but not quite. Perhaps lust shall be your damnation, though you are exceptionally confident that you will succeed in your quest. Perhaps somewhere farther below, where the prideful meet their end at last.
Minos, that is enough.
What kind of soul do you have? A hedonist? A heretic? No, something far simpler. You have... You have the soul of a dreamer. And oh, how dreamers suffer in this life.
Minos, cease this at once.
Very well, little queen. Very well. I've had my fill. You may proceed. Though I doubt you will get very far, little lost soul, even with Lilith at your side.
Thank you for your vote of confidence. Now get out of my way.
As you wish.
Do not worry yourself, Wanderer. He is always like that. Do not take it personally. He is just rather fond of that pretty little crown he wears, and enjoys his work too much. Little queen, ugh, no respect at all. Oh yes, I am fine. I just never like talking to Minos. Honestly, I avoid him when I can. Always so condescending. You do not like him either? Glad to hear we share the same opinion of him. I just hope he keeps to his word, and that Lord Ashmedei does not sense our wandering through his lands. Speaking of which, we draw closer with every step. Brace yourself, Wanderer. You might begin to feel a little lightheaded, and a little flustered. The air and earth of this realm fluctuates according to who rules over them, and in the next circle, Ashmedei holds his domain firmly, but gently in his grasp. Here, entwine your hand with mine. I do not want you to go wandering off. Now, let us be on our way, onwards and downwards. You can hear them too, can you not, wanderer? Those delicious sounds lingering on the air, entwining, enveloping one another. My, how you blush such a lovely shade of red. Yes, you know exactly what circle we are passing through. This is the realm where the debauched, the depraved, the desired and the desirers are punished for their sinful ways. No, not punished for love, but for putting their desire above all else. They chose to slake their appetites over reason, allowing their lust to smother their morals. Adulterers, libertines, and those with more grotesque perversions are here. Do you see them? Here, let me just rest my chin on your shoulder. There. Can you see those sensuous figures being thrown about in the wind? Their mouths agape in screams of pain. Or perhaps pleasure. Forever trapped in the state of the little death, I suppose you could say. Sometimes I come here and watch the winds, watch their faces contort with their suffering, their lovers forever just out of reach, fingertips grasping, just about to touch, and another buffet of wind knocks them aside, throwing them back into the darkness of the storm. While there are many who deserve to be here, I cannot help but feel pity for some. They allowed their desires to consume them, but they lived a life of pleasure in its most primal form, surrendered to the drifting nature of their desires, let their whims lead them, like leaves tossed by a breeze. Now here they are, naked, screaming leaves tossed by an uncaring wind. Even so, this is a gentle punishment. While they do indeed suffer, you can hear it yourself. It is a slow, drawn-out punishment. Not so much physical as it is emotional. You give up your entire sense of self and completely surrender to the tempests of lust. My, how your blush darkens and spreads. I can hear the thunderous beating of your heart. Smell the heat coming off your skin. I am so glad that I am the one who found you on the outskirts of hell. I think I smelled some succubi lingering in the area, but as soon as I made myself known, they were quick to vanish. If they had managed to sink their pretty little claws into you, you would more than likely be so enraptured in agonizing ecstasy that you would have forgotten the name of your beloved. Remind me what that was again? Good. Very good. What was that? You feel a little lightheaded. You are not the only one. It just feels so strangely warm here. Well, warmer than usual. Yes, I am well aware that we are walking through hell, but it feels like the air is laced with something unseen. Something that warms the blood in all the right ways, and the wrong ways as well. But it feels rather enjoyable, does it not? What is wrong, Wanderer? Does the sensation of my breath on your cheek make you that uncomfortable? Or are you ashamed that you secretly enjoy my presence a little more than you wish to admit? No, how firmly you declare that. But if there is one thing I understand, it is the nature of sin. And even though your heart is pledged to another, there are still many aspects to me that you find most alluring. That, and the pact between us has bound you to me in many ways. Some fun, others a little more sinister. What is it? My eyes. What are you talking about? They are the exact same color as your beloved's. Do not look at me like that. I may be a demon, but I am not that heartless. This is not my doing. I know I already inflame your desires with my mere presence, and this is especially cruel fuel to add to the fire. Oh, you sly son of a bitch. Lord Ashmedei, I can feel your eyes undressing us both. Come out here and keep us company while we make our merry way down this path.
Lilith, oh, I have missed you. It's been so achingly long since we last played together. And please, call me Ashmedei.
Very well, Ashmedei. And I know there is much wine to be drunk, many delights to be shared. When I return. For now, I have a job to do.
And I can see you're doing a fine job at that. Such a lovely thrall you have under your charms, my dear.
First Minos, now you? Keep your hands to yourself. They are not to be touched. I know well of the wicked magic in those hands of yours.
Come now, just one little caress. It's been so long since I felt the softness of mortal flesh beneath my fingertips.
No! You will not lay a single finger upon that which is mine. Now leave us be. I know you are trying to distract us.
How you spoil my fun. They look like they could keep me amused for hours upon hours.
Their heart belongs to another.
But their flesh belongs to us all.
Be silent, great seducer, and let us pass. Watch those wandering hands of yours. While I do enjoy their affections to help ease my boredom, one touch and you'll distract my ward from their goal.
But oh, the fun we could have together. And I'm sure your beloved is a patient soul. She can wait a little longer.
But your idea of a short respite will take an eternity. I know you are a prince of hell who is not easily satisfied.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge.
Perhaps, but it is a challenge that will have to wait. So I trust you will keep yourself busy until my business with my ward is complete.
I will be waiting with bated breath. Oh, and Wanderer, you have a wonderful eye for lovers. I only caught a glimpse of her, poor soul, but I will admit I was rather disappointed that she would not be spending an eternity entwined amongst my winds, pleading to be plucked from the breeze so that she may find respite in my bed for a while.
Down, boy, and hush that lascivious tongue of yours. Are there not succubi and incubi awaiting your diligent lessons?
You're right. Again, I will be keeping an eye out for you, my lovely, for when your scent comes drifting through my domain once more.
You'll be waiting for quite a while then.
Don't fret, pet. I like to take my time when it comes to lovers like you. See you around, Lilith. But don't leave me hanging on bated breath. I can only amuse myself for so long.
Catch your breath and steady yourself. I can hear your heart thundering from here. Practically feel the flush of your blood. Do not worry yourself, Wanderer, as Ashmedei and I are old acquaintances. He has always had a soft spot for me, though it does not stay soft for long. He has difficulty keeping his hands to himself, and sometimes does not know when no means no. I wanted us both to be wary when we entered this domain. One touch of those silken fingertips, and all memory of your beloved would have been cast to his winds, and you would have wandered effortlessly off your path. You are welcome, Wanderer. Are my eyes still the same shade as your beloved's? Yes? Well, let us hope that it fades in time. We must keep walking, but for now, let me take your arm until our hearts stop racing. You are too kind, even to those who don't deserve it. Thank you. Care for a bite? No? Oh well, more for me. Probably a good idea that you said no. Not quite sure what food that grows in the underworld will do to you. I've seen what happens when damned souls try to eat them. It is depressing. Give me a moment. This shield will keep that freezing, foul rain off of us, but I cannot mask the stench. You may want to cover your nose, Wanderer. This is going to be deeply unpleasant. Oh, fuck it. It is worse than I remember. Like a corpse lying in its own filth, left out in the summer to rot. Oh. No, we cannot walk around it. If I was on my own, I would be able to bypass this grotesque circle. But since I'm escorting you, we need to take a path we could walk together. And it is just our misfortune that we need to pass through this place. No. That is not a river. At least not anymore. Look closer. Like Ashmedei's winds are filled with tortured lovers, Beelzebub's mires are filled with wallowing, putrid gluttons. Their filth and food mixing into one as the freezing rain pours down on them. We need to follow the path along the mire, but do not worry, we will steer clear of the banks. You are quite right, Wanderer. There is a dog down there. But those howls of suffering you hear come from the sinners below. Oh, for good reason. Speak of the devil, and here comes the good boy. Do not be afraid of his monstrous size, lashing ropes of black and red saliva, and his 3 heads. Just let me take care of him. He is a guard dog, and makes sure no one tries to escape the sludge. If they do, he mauls them with those fearsome claws. Just do not be afraid. He can smell it. Hello, little darling. Are you behaving yourself? Keeping those filthy sinners in line. No. They are not one of yours. See, they do not smell like they are from here. They smell nice and clean, and of my ever so sweet perfume. Good boy. Now you go back to tearing and biting at those disgusting sinners, and we will continue along our path. No, go. I'm sorry that I cannot stay, but I am certain your master is around here somewhere, probably stuffing his repugnant face. And they will be back to play with you soon. You'll be surprised what talk like that does to many people, not just dogs. They look almost like wild pigs, do they not? Kept in line by a 3-headed, vicious wolf. I imagine this sight has turned you off food for quite a while, Wanderer. Ugh, that apple is not sitting well with me. In the mortal realm, did you enjoy feasting from time to time? Not really? Me neither. Gluttony was not really one of my favourite vices. Though it does not necessarily mean being a gorger in the sense of overindulgence of food. It is more of a surrender to self-satisfying indulgence, in solitude, as opposed to the delights taken in the pleasure of another's flesh. Take a look at their eyes through all that filth. Their wide, blank, glassy eyes. They are blind to their neighbours wallowing in the mire. They cannot feel their presence. In their minds, they are completely alone in their suffering. Their senses filled with the stink of their sins. So pathetic. Naked and deserted in freezing rain. Just as they indulged on food, alcohol, drugs, and whatever else they desired. They are damned to do it forever. Completely and utterly alone in the dark. Your piteous look will do you no good. They cannot see the empathy in your eyes. And I hope you are not stupid enough to try to liberate one of them from the mire. I have seen that puppy render demons in twain. Such a greedy little thing. Ugh. Those demons are not nearly as appealing as the succubi we passed, with their rotting hogs' heads, their flesh sagging and splitting as they drag their bellies across the dirt. I will bet that if you escape this realm, you may fast for a few days. It might do you good. depending on how you fare after this little journey. Fasting, depriving yourself of that which you crave, can bring clarity, like those naked fools stumbling out into the wilderness after devouring what they should not have. Beelzebub's influence can taint even the sweetest of memories, like your wedding feast, filled with wine, mirth, fruit and finery. Are they starting to rot and ferment inside your mind? Think of what was more permanent than the passing feast. The first kiss with your beloved when you were joined as one. The look in her eyes as she gazed at you. The softness of her lips, sweet with wine and cake. My lips look similar to hers. A strange but flattering compliment. Thank you, dear wanderer. We have almost made our way through gluttony, and thankfully Beelzebub was distracted by his bottomless feast. I hope that we are just as lucky for the rest of our journey. Keep up the swift pace. Barely stomach this land a moment longer. Finally, I can breathe again. That stink is going to be in my hair and clothes for weeks. Is your stomach feeling any better? You left your lunch a few miles back there, and you were still a little pale. No, me neither. I think it was a mistake to eat that apple before our stroll through gluttony. Yes, I will be fine. It takes more than some fruit rotting in my stomach to make me lose focus. Thank you, though. It is refreshing that you show such concern for me. No, my former thralls seldom showed compassion or empathy towards me. Oh yes, there have been others. You are not my first mortal that I have brought under my care, and you will certainly not be the last. After our business is complete, there will be more, and more, and more. Though you are the first to agree to such a request from me, and last this long in a land so cruel. You are also the first to ever meet me in the flesh. I only ever spoke to the others through means of magic, most often through dreams. But it is like looking at your reflection through a broken mirror. My visage is shattered and reformed in their minds. Sometimes I am more demon than woman, all smoke and burning eyes, horns and honeyed words. Other times it is the opposite, and they see me as a pair of red lips, a body they desire and heated perfume all around them. But I am both, and oh, so much more than they could ever hope to understand. More and infinite. I do tend to ramble, do I not? It has just been so long since I've had such kind company. You are a wonderful listener, so do forgive me for taking advantage of that. You have a question? Ask away, wanderer. What did my other thralls ask for? Oh, a great many things. Mostly they wish for fulfillment of their innermost desires. As you saw, the Prince of Lust and I have an intimate relationship. He has taught me many fun little tricks. The other realms that I have a talent for are wrath and pride, which we will carefully traverse when we come to them. And the most common vice of all, greed. Look at it all, wanderer. The towers of oxidizing, shimmering metal, the bubbling pits of melted gold, and the sinners spread beyond the horizon. And that colossal golden statue, the man with blind eyes so he may give bounties in abundance, the one who looms above them all as they scream out for more of his treasures. He is an ancient god of wealth. The mortals call him Plutus. Do not be rude, wanderer. Wave at him. He saw us coming. Let us at least acknowledge him. Word is more than likely spread across hell of your presence here. We got lucky with Beelzebub. I doubt we will be as fortunate with Mammon. So, let us be on our best behavior. He is so very covetous, and may not like to let us go so easily. Though that seems to be a running theme with you. Steady your step, but do not stare at the ground. Yes, they are coins, from every corner of the world. Wood, iron, ceramic, platinum. Wanderer, careful. Are you alright? Are you hurt? Ah, good. Oh, just hang on a moment, my dear. Give me your hand. Those idle fingers will get you into trouble. Every coin is accounted for by Mammon. He will not part with a single one, and I do not need him on our bad side. Of course, you did not mean to take it, but your subconscious wanted it. Take my hand. I will make sure no other trinkets slip into your pockets by accident. That guitar on your back, the scuffs on your boots, and your unfailing hope give the impression that you are one of those penniless bohemians who lived a life filled with love, but in rooms without heat, drunk on bliss, but sleeping on empty bellies. This is more gold than you have seen in your short little life, is it not? I sense there is some part of you that secretly wants this, like an itch you cannot quite reach.
But it burns and festers until it consumes you whole. First wife, true wife, you idle in my domain a little too long, and you bring mortal greed alongside you. I can feel it, like heat radiating off a lantern, warm and inviting, and insatiable.
We are on our best behavior. Not a treasure has been taken. All is accounted for. Let us pass.
But your thrall desires to fill their pockets. So why not let them?
Do not give in.
Here, take of this bounty. It will be just as heavy and precious in your pockets when you leave with your lady love. You could buy a perfect little home and raise perfect little brats and live a life that you truly deserve, that she truly deserves. Well, what say you?
Well, I told you, Mammon. They are stronger than they seem. We will depart with nothing except what we came here with. They are not one of those miserly fools, those corrupt holy men, those hoarders and grovelling gilded sinners. You will not keep my thrall here, jousting with those boiling boulders that clash against another and echo across your realm. There is someone waiting for them, so get out of my way.
And what if I say no?
Then you will be the lucky one who finds out what happens when a fool stands in my way.
You dare to call me a fool? Perhaps I should boil your thrall in melted gold for your blasphemous tongue.
You even think about laying a finger on them? And I will not think twice about making sure you feel the full force of the ramifications that come when interfering with an infernal pact. You will be unmade through fire and ice, through agonies unimagined, unending. And I know, Mammon, your greatest fear is leaving your hoard unprotected.
And if I call your bluff, girl?
Then call it. But keep in mind, I am quite certain that the Morningstar is looking for something new to amuse himself, and torturing one of his most powerful warriors just because they succumbed to a little too much temptation. Ooh, I just bet he will take his time with you. I know you crave my attention, my company. I will likely be back this way another night. For now, Mammon, let us pass.
Get out of my sight.
Gladly. Come along, Wanderer. We shall not let him steal another moment of your precious time. Keep your hand in mine. Interlace my fingers with yours. I will do my best to keep our path true. They feel familiar to you. Our bond seems to be strengthening with every passing moment. Good. It means that my magic is still protecting you, even this deep in the Inferno. Stay close. We have come so very far. But one of our biggest challenges lies ahead. I thought we were heading forwards, but the air still stinks, and burns and bites. We cannot have turned around. The path is strong and true. We have been walking in one direction all this time. I'm fine, I'm just a little on edge. Now that our presence has been noticed, I fear that our journey will only become all the more dangerous. I see that doubt in your eyes, and you will die if you make a habit of letting those thoughts linger. Keep on holding my hand, and they should not harm you. But I can no longer guarantee your safety unless you truly embrace the pact between us. A shield can only protect you if you have the strength to wield it. From here on, our success will be determined by luck, not just courage and reckless optimism. Just hold on to the thought of seeing her again. and how much my hands remind you of hers. No. I now see where we stand. We are on the right path. Those hills and cliffs are not made of stone. Yes, they are bones, built of the remains from those countless billions lost to violence. The shards of their misery slice at the feet of those who killed them. Their weary souls have perhaps ascended, but their remains are a constant reminder to their murderers of their sins. Their blood runs down those bones and into this vastness of swirling red. The river Styx, the threshold of the fifth circle, filled and flowing by the generosity of Wrath's bounty, frothing with hot blood, slick and sticking to the bodies of those aggressive, wrathful sinners who fight on its surface, bloated mosquitoes biting at their flesh that is marred with bruises and lashes from each other's nails and teeth. And look, just below. See those grotesque faces, sunken in the shadows deep below the blood? They are the passive, who kept their violent thoughts private, lacking all joy, their hearts rotting in anger, just as their faces now rot in those swampy waters. Maggots and fiery, biting worms crawling between their tendons. Once again, you turn your face away, wanderer. I can see your disgust. But surely there is some part of you glad that they suffer. They have received their judgment from Minos, and now they shall endure an unending rotting while lying helpless beneath the waves. But just as those waters are red with blood, look at the towers ahead of us, like burning mosques, cathedrals and synagogues of red-hot bronze and gold, piercing the choking black clouds above us, glinting light in the towers, and all of lower hell contained within its walls. We cannot walk around it, and the walls are under constant watch. We must pass through in order for you to speak to the Morningstar. Were it not for the choking air and the scent of gruesome death around us, I would linger for a moment to enjoy the sight. It is a strange, burning beauty to behold, is it not? It looks like a nightmare. To you, I suppose it does. Its design is intended to strike fear into the hearts of mortals and remind them of their place, crushed beneath our claws and hooves. Oh, do not look at me like that. I will still be around long after your great-great-grandchildren are dead. So long as you make it out of here. Be silent and behold. You stand before the gates of the great capital of Dis. Fall upon your knees and state your business here. I will do no such thing. I am Lilith, the first and true, and I bow to no one.
We shall see. Enter this city of woe if you choose, but it is unlikely that you shall leave.
We must pass through Dis if you wish to find your beloved. Do you still desire to proceed? Very well. But let it be known that whatever happens is because of your choice. Now close your eyes And no matter what you hear, do not open them until I say so.
I have been waiting for you two vermin to come skulking to the doors of Dis. Word has passed through the circle of little lost Lilith and her latest slave. I quite like the idea of your head being mounted atop the battlements, mortal, with yours beside it, Lilith. I rather enjoy the idea of the harpies scratching your pretty little eyes out.
I would like to see you try.
Damn. Your hair feels good in my fist. And your neck just looks so lovely and vulnerable, like a pillar of stone just about to come crumbling down. Now, why don't you open those eyes and ask my permission properly?
You know, it will take far more than that to harm me, Medusa.
And what of you, mortal? Shall I flay you alive and leave you out for the harpies and fallen angels to pick at? Bleed you dry to feed the sticks? Fill you full of my venom until you choke on your own naivety? Or perhaps I should take a little trip down below and drag your beloved soul up here so she can watch you writhe and scream and suffer for her in the name of love. What's this? Lilith, why do you slip from my claws so easily?
This is something none of you can understand. Not you, Medusa, nor the harpies, nor those wrathful fallen angels. It is their virtue, their love, amplified by my magic, with a little anger thrown in for good measure. Now, release us both. Your malice will not harm me, my thrall, or their beloved while my pact with them is intact.
You may be warded by old magics, but once your little pact is complete, nothing shall stop me from choking the life from you, Lilith.
You would have to catch me first.
That sounds like a challenge.
Perhaps it is. I know how you enjoy a good hunt.
We will grant you entry through this. But know that I will be spending my time thinking of all the delicious ways I can make you suffer, Lilith.
Promises, promises. Until we meet again, old friend. Take my hand and do not let go. Medusa is behind us. You can open your eyes now. Keep moving. We have permission from their gatekeeper, so none of the denizens of Dis will hopefully bother us. Walk with purpose. I will be all right. This is not the first, nor the last time that she has threatened to harm me. Besides, her little moment of spitfire brought to light something interesting. You truly have embraced our pact. You wanted to help me, and your will manifested itself into being. I think even my natural perfume is shifting in your presence, into one that you find comforting. How do you see me, Wanderer? A means to an end? A powerful ally to make the journey less treacherous? Or perhaps something more? A friend? Well, that is certainly a first. I have had others perceive me with lustful intent, others who worshipped me with more honesty than the divine hypocrite, but none that considered me a friend. You have a good heart. Too good. I will do my utmost to ensure you succeed, that you find your beloved and bring her safely home. Dear Wanderer, will you do me a favor? Will you let me take your arm while we travel through this circle? It has been a very, very long time since I have been here, and it is difficult to set foot in these lands again. Thank you. How long has it been? I cannot remember. I was here for what felt like an eternity, and once I escaped, I vowed never to return. When I travel alone, I can pick and choose at my leisure what realms I pass through, and I always avoid this one. But you have sacrificed a great deal to make it this far. I think the least I can do is endure a few hours of discomfort to ensure your safe passage. You are welcome, Wanderer. I'm starting to understand just how lucky your beloved is. If you care this much for me after such a short time, I can only begin to imagine what it is like to spend years by your side. I am sorry I've embarrassed you again, though you are so very adorable when you blush. I do not know if I want to talk about it. But you have made it this far. And I suppose this is what having a friend is like. Someone you can share secrets with. All I ask is that you swear to me that you will tell no one this. Thank you. As we are walking down the throat of this vast canyon, look up. On either side of us, see the countless rectangular shapes carved into the surface. Tell me, what do they look like to you? Rows and rows of little copper doors. Once again, your keen eyes prove their worth. Right in the center of all those little doors, the one that is oxidized and is the only green thing in this vast land. That was my little door. This was my circle. For heretics, blasphemers, those who go against the word of the divine hypocrite. So for my crimes, I was locked away. I always hated this circle. It is the realm of punishment for the heretics, those who had a different point of view, a different way of life. They lived, they loved, they nurtured happiness in their lives. But They were blasphemous in his eyes. And so here they are. They denied his existence, so they are locked away in flaming tombs, unable to escape the burning darkness, their skin bubbling against the metal walls. I can endure the heat. I can endure the loneliness. What got to me the most was the tomb itself. It was a cage. Once again, I was in a cage. Just like being back in that garden and being asked to submit. I swore that I would never be imprisoned like that again. And because I refused to accept his word as law, he cast me into that hole, intending for me to rot away for an eternity, while he began designing my replacement. I can even hear them, slamming their fists against the doors, begging for release. But it will never come for them. How did I escape? The Morningstar heard me. When I was imprisoned, hell was still settling after the Great Rebellion. Duties were being assigned, territory divided amongst the most powerful of demons. And while he was surveying his new kingdom, the Morningstar saw my little copper door, heard my screams, and he released me. He and I are kindred spirits in some sense, and he was furious that I was punished in such a way for my act of defiance. I see that hint of hope in your eye, and while we get along from time to time, it is not a guarantee that he will do as I ask when we confront him at the end of your journey. Since that day, I have not come to this realm. Its very existence disgusts me. But sinners are still sent here. I am just glad that I am no longer one of them. How long was I imprisoned for? I do not know. Time is strange down here. If you are one of the dead, the concept of future becomes null and void. All you have is the endlessness of the present. You can no longer mature. You are locked forever in your current form. Which is why it is impossible for punished sinners to escape without outside assistance. I was fortunate that I am not mortal, as I did not take of the shameful fruit, so I was able to endure and hold to my sanity longer than most. But still, it was agony. Your sympathy is appreciated, Wanderer. It is nice to be comforted without any ulterior motive. Even this far into hell, that kindness has not faded yet. This is the end of the canyon and the start of the cliff. The descent is steep, so take my hand in case you stumble. The winding path is narrow and treacherous, but we must keep moving. There is only a few circles left, and the Morningstar resides at the very bottom. We have come a long way, but there is still more ahead of us. My darling. What is it? I can feel your approach. Find me. Take me home. Yes, I hear her too. Now that you point it out, our voices are rather alike. But do not get distracted. Steel your resolve. The circle of violence and its valley of horrors lies before us. Whoa, careful there. We finally made it down that damn pile of rocks. Almost twisted my ankle back there. Almost. Oh, the harrowing of hell really made a mess of this realm. Wait, what is that smell? Fresh blood. I know this blood. Oh, your hand. Did you cut yourself while we were making our way down the cliff? Why did you hide it from me? You did not wish to worry me. How sweet, but foolish. Give me your hand. It is a relatively small cut, but it needs to be treated as soon as possible. If we were in the mortal realm, I would wash this. The clean water is impossible to find down here. There is something I can do, though it is a little strange. But if this goes unhealed, uncleaned, it will likely be infected, and you do not want to bring anything from here into the world of mortals. This may sting a little, but I can clean it with my mouth. The heat from my tongue should cauterize the wound. I know it is awkward, but our options are limited. Do you consent? Very well. Now hold still, and try not to flinch. How do you feel? Your face is red again. Well, what matters is that your wound is closed. I wanted to take care of that before we proceeded. While the scent of blood is thick in the air, it has decayed with age. Your blood, my little wanderer? It is like the bleating cry of a lamb lost in the woods. The wolves would come rushing in. I am a fierce fighter, but I do not know if I could win a battle against all the demons of violence, and keep you alive. But let us not worry about the what-ifs. We have more certain matters to deal with. I will keep hold of your wounded hand, to smother any lingering scent on the air with my own. Stay behind me. The monster of Cretes wanders this way. The Minotaur, diseased and bloody with wounds. The insects, with pincers like knives and wings of broken glass, feast on his fury. He hungers for mortal flesh. He craves the strength of the young and angers deeply at the sight of the beautiful. You are exactly what makes his blood boil. And I think we have begun to run short on luck. He can smell you. We must move quickly. Do not let go. Get behind that tree. I will not let him hurt you.
I smell mortal flesh, with life lingering in their marrow. Hand them over, girl. Be on your way. Their blood has been spilt on the threshold to violence. My domain. They are mine by right of blood.
And they are mine by right of pact. Move, or I will break you.
Do you know what I am?
I was going to ask you the same thing. I am the first and true, made by divine hand and refined by fire and fury. You are nothing but the dirt beneath my feet. Now I have had a very, very long journey, and I've entertained others far grander than you with my attention. But you try my patience. Leave.
You will pay for that insult, girl.
You will pay for your stupidity, monster. Come out, Wanderer. I tried not to make too much of a mess, but he put up a fight. Let us keep moving. The flies have already started to descend. It is oddly fitting that this is the first ring of this vast circle of bloodshed. Violence against neighbours. How vague that is. But no less satisfying. The Minotaur was a brute, stubborn until the end. But I would still consider him a distant neighbour. War makers, murderers, and tyrants, all made equal in that vast river of fiery, boiling blood. Being boiled alive in blood seems to be a popular form of torture down here, now that I think about it. I may suggest some fun alternatives to the Morningstar when we meet him. Hey, are you alright? I have seen you scowl before, often at my cruel jokes, but this is the first time that you look truly angry. What is it? That man, screaming in the blood. Who was he that earned such scorn from you? He was your commander during the war. I will take it that you did not care for him. He is being punished for his cruelty. Take satisfaction in that. The hoofed beasts, those hellish centaurs that patrol the river. They fire barbed arrows at those who try to escape its depths. All he will ever know is suffering. The pain he inflicted on others, he will feel 1,000-fold. Come, Wanderer. She is waiting for you. Turn your eyes from hatred. Love is waiting for you. So you were a soldier. I lost count of the mortal wars years ago. Here I thought you were but a simple singer, a passionate poet. I try to keep my thralls at a distance, emotionally, I mean, lest I become too kind-hearted towards them. But we have been on this journey for a while, and I know very little of you, Wanderer. While we travel through this especially cruel circle, tell me your story. It will help to ease the screams and the stink of blood away. Wanderer, please keep up. This is the third time you have fallen behind. What are you... Careful! Are you all right? Did they hurt you? Good. What made you pause? We cannot be idle for long. You saw the faces in the warped bark of the trees. And you wanted to help them. I am sorry, but you cannot save them now. Oh, hush. Do not say that. You are not useless. Their fate has been decided. Yours has not. If you wish to weep for them, I will not stop you, but we must keep moving. You are not alone in your sorrow. This is yet another realm that makes my skin crawl. In the eyes of the divine hypocrite, these poor souls committed a heinous sin. A sin of violence against themselves. They may have been kind, gentle mortals, never harming a single soul while they were alive. But they lost the war inside their head and they... In this twisted hell, they are robbed of their mortal form. In life, they hurt their flesh in countless ways. So their soul is now picked at by those vile creatures, those harpies. They are transformed into withered embodiments of their own self-hatred, unable to move, or speak, or even scream. These poor mortals, overwhelmed with despair, have become one with these woods. This is the wood of the suicides. That is why the trees take this twisted form, of bodies entwined and mouths agape in cries of woe, their arms stretched to the sky as though pleading for salvation, their crimson sap running down the bark. The scent of that bittersweetness intoxicates the cruel harpies that circle above us. They swoop down to find the softest, most tender parts of the trees, the eyes and tongue, mostly. And only when those talons sink in and the sap flows freely, only then are they allowed to scream. But even though this forest is thick with millions upon millions of trees, there is no fertile land. It is a forest devoid of all life. We cannot stop now, especially not here. The harpies seem to be preoccupied with some new saplings, but our luck has been running thinner and thinner. Here, take my hand and we will... Did you just slap my hand away? That is a very, very dangerous move, my little thrall. Answer me, and do not lie, I will know. What has come over you? What is that darkness in your eyes I see? That weight upon your shoulders? You do not think that you will make it? That you will never see her? No, you cannot fall now. You will make it through this hell, one way or another. You need to get up. The lands are sensing your sorrow. If you stay here, you will become one of the damned. and not even I can save you without dire consequences. Do not give in. The roots are starting to take hold. Hey, look at me, my little wanderer. Look at me. Keep your eyes on me. Yes, you said that before, did you not? That my eyes look like hers? That my hands felt like hers. Now, feel them. Feel her as I rest my hands upon your shoulders. Comb my fingertips through your hair. Tell me of her, your beloved. The one you came all this way for. What do you remember of her? She was as sweet as the first sip of summer wine. But you feel as though it was all a distant dream. Close your eyes and feel the strength of the pact between us. If I remind you of her so much, let me use that to my advantage. I know she has claimed your lips, but may she forgive me if I borrow them for just a moment. You can do this. You will see her again. The music that she inspires, she is the gentle flame that invokes the Inferno within you. Fight for her. Or is she not worth fighting for? Good. Now, get up. Hold on. I have you. You will be alright. The roots were only just starting to take you over. Let me see your hands. Flex your fingers for me. Good. The legs and the fingertips are the first things to turn to wood. The first things to split and bleed. But you are stronger than that. And I hope you remember your virtues that continue to protect you in this place. So long as you truly believe in them and in her. This journey has taken a toll on us both. My wounds are not healing as quickly as I had hoped. I can continue to protect you, but know that I do not think I could win another fight. At least not until our pact is completed and I may rest. Do not worry about me, Wanderer. And do not forget what you promised me. To take my hand and lead me out of this nightmare. Once you have found your beloved, of course. Just a little further, my dear. At long last, we are out of the woods. And into, once again, more heat. I am glad to be rid of those harpies, those vile centaurs, that rotting minotaur. Behold, the final ring in this great circle of violence, the great plains of burning sand, and the sinners who wander within it. The souls below committed acts of violence against God, art, and nature. I hold little love in my heart for the selfish fools who sin against what makes your short lives worth living, poisoning nature herself, savages who ravage and hoard the beauty of your world. I cannot help but feel as though there will be a great swell in the populace down here. Perhaps not right away, but in just a few centuries or so. This mass of sweating, screaming bodies will grow. How do I know this? We demons have incredibly strong intuition, an unearthly talent for sensing how the wind may blow in the fortune or folly of you mortals. And that sense helped me find you, after all. Besides, there is so much natural beauty in the mortal realm that is yet to be abused. And you humans have a cruel talent for corrupting beauty. What was your home like, back in the realm of mortals? Did you force nature to make way for you, carve out your own share of the world? Or did you live in harmony with it? Wait, before you answer, I want to try something. It will help restore your strength and remind you of what you are fighting for. In your mind, visualize your home, the comfort and safety that you feel when you step across the threshold and you see her there. I think I can see it. Near the woods, the lights of a village further down in the valley, like 100 candles for 100 prayers, flickering in the distance. An old farmhouse with greenery around you, hens in their nests, strawberries growing on the vine. You live simply, but the very air itself is drunk on your happiness. The living room is warm, inviting. There's a vase of blue glass on the mantelpiece with dried flowers. And she is there too, asleep in a chair by the fire. She was peeling apples, and she dozed off. The scent of wood fire and sweetness in the air. But it begins to fade as the memory slips away. Are you all right? Experiencing a taste of your memories is both an exhilarating and strange sensation. Thank you for that gift. I could almost taste the wine you love and the apples in her lap. She is lovely, by the way. I only caught a glimpse of her in that particular memory, but she is certainly worth fighting for. I cannot wait to see your world with my own eyes, once again. Feel the softness of green grass beneath my feet, the rain on my face. Thanks to you, dear wanderer, I will taste that glorious peace soon. Here, stand beside me, so you may gaze from this cliff at this macabre majesty. You still look a little uneasy from our journey through the woods, so we will stay away from the cliff's edge, but try to take some steadying breaths as best you can. The fall of Sodom and Gomorrah was long before your time, wanderer. But if you are ever curious, this is what it looked like after the city fell. A vast desert of biting, burning sand, with that grotesque river of blood still running through the dunes. The storm clouds above, purple and crimson, like pulsing fresh bruises, crackling with white-hot veins of lightning, ash and flames falling like snow. Excuse me, I have heard of mortal children who enjoy the chilled flakes upon their tongues. It tickles. I would advise that you do not attempt to try, my dear, lest your tongue shriveled like a dried fruit. Oof. Poor little beasties. I do not think we can cross this realm on foot. I can feel their eyes turning towards us, and I do not know if we will be able to make our way across those plains in one piece. Ugh, they are starting to cluster at the base of the cliffs. They do not seem to be the kind of souls that will let us pass peacefully. Perhaps they seek to corrupt us too. Come, let us move away from this cliff. I may have a way around this. I have been holding fast to this favor for quite a while, and now seems like the time to use it. We will follow the path of the river and over the curdling waterfall that lies ahead. While there is a path, I feel that we are running low on stamina, and while our pact remains strong, I sense your fatigue. Take a seat on that stone and rest for a moment. I will take care of this. Try to remain calm when you behold him. He is a fickle beast. Come forth, Guryan. Lend us your wings. Wanderer, come meet Guryan, the monster of fraud. A great dragon of black and gold scale. Stay close and watch his scorpion's tail. He likes to get a little sneaky with it. Indeed, his face is that of a mortal man, an honest man, a face that shifts under the gaze of those who look upon it. I see that furrow upon your brow. What, or rather, who do you see? I apologize. If you do not wish to speak of it further, then I shall not pry. Easy there, Guryan. I wish to invoke my favor. I ask that you grant the two of us safe passage to the 8th circle. Carry us upon your back across the burning plains. Thank you, Guryan. Wanderer, take my hand. I will sit behind you to make sure you do not fall. Here, hold on to these 2 shoulder spikes. I will wrap my arms around your waist. Hold on tightly, my dear, and try to keep your eyes closed as best you can. I will use a little of my magic to divert the ash and flames, but the warm winds will not be kind. So make yourself comfortable and enjoy this short reprieve. This will likely be our last chance to rest before we meet the Morningstar, and you see your beloved again. Are you all right, my darling? You still look a little uneasy from the flight. I told Geryon to not get too wild, but his wide smile is a clever mask for his wickedness. Thankfully, you did not fall, thanks to my arms wrapped tightly around you. My, how I will never tire of your blushing face. Oh? It felt strange to you. In what way? In a nice sort of way? Do not give me that look. You know I mean that in jest. It felt like the arms of your beloved wrapped around you. Ah, perhaps a little of the memory that we experienced earlier has lingered over me. While it is certainly strange, we cannot idle any longer. Let us keep moving through the circle of fraud, otherwise known as Melbolg. Tell me, dear wanderer, does the geography remind you of anything? No? Oh well. I believe there is a great feat of mortal construction known as an amphitheatre. There are several similarities between this realm and that great marvel of architecture. That is why their screams echo so much. The sound is amplified by this funnel of ancient stones that make up this realm. Each of the deep, circular ditches contain a different kind of fraudulent sinner. From thieves to counterfeiters, all have their place here. Look, see that swaying bridge of rope, stone, and wood? Yes, it is ancient, but can still be crossed if we are careful. That bridge goes over each of the ditches and slopes down into the center, like walking into a whirlpool, if the whirlpool was filled with screaming souls. But let us keep moving while we have our renewed strength. You walk ahead, I will be behind to assist if you should stumble. I beg your pardon? Oh, the ditch we are crossing is filled with panderers and seducers, and the horned demons that take great pleasure in cracking their whips across wicked flesh. Why do you ask? I see that anger in your eyes. The same anger when you beheld Geryon's shifting face. What is wrong? What are you doing? Get back here! You cannot climb down there! No, I am not letting you go! Stop this, now! We are wasting time with this foolishness. Please, stop this. What has come over you? I have never seen you so enraged, so willing to throw yourself into more danger. I can feel your blood practically boiling. That wicked soul, the one staring up at us. You once knew that man? Yes. What is this? This Wait. It feels as though my heart has been wrapped in briars. Why am I starting to weep? That is impossible. Our pact has become so strong that we now share the same emotions. All my former thralls saw our pact as just an arrangement, with some pleasurable perks thrown in, but still just a means to an end. But you consider me a friend, and one of the purest forms of true friendship is empathy. Absolute empathy. You mortals continue to surprise me. Then, in order for us to proceed, for you to rise to your feet and keep moving forward, explain what happened, why we feel this fury running through our veins, this fathomless sorrow in our hearts. Tell me, dear friend, what happened? A lie so cruel, so selfish, that it destroyed everything you held dear. That soul, the one suffering in that pit, he was once a fellow soldier, a best friend for many years, but he coveted your beloved above all else. You were on a mission together during that great and terrible war. There was an accident, a cliffside, and he looked you in the eye and let you fall. I feel those broken bones, that sweat and blood running down your face, fighting for your life, to get back to her. Your commander took the soldier's word, despite the lack of evidence. Everyone believed that you were dead. It's shifting, this vision. I see that beautiful home, your beautiful home, with your beautiful beloved inside. She's weeping, and your former friend, he's holding her hand. But she pulls away from him. Time passes, days and nights, countless nights alone, and still she sits and weeps. He offers her kind words, but she does not hear them. And one day, she stops weeping. Calmly, she walks to the apple tree outside. And the light from the sunset turns her necklace of rope to a chain of gold and red. This poor woman, this poor, poor woman, your beloved. She took her own life in the hopes of being reunited with you in heaven. But she ended up down here. I am so sorry. Come here, let me hold you. There is nothing more to be done about what has come to pass. That lying, selfish wretch clearly met his own well-deserved unfortunate end. But her soul is still intact. I can feel it. She is waiting for you, and you almost have your arms around her again. Now take my hand, dry your tears. We are almost there. We just need to make our way over this bridge one step at a time. Did you feel that? That ice-cold breeze. He is granting us passage past the other sinners, past the titans that guard the final gate. The Morningstar is expecting us. He is welcoming us. I am sure that this final circle needs no introduction. We stand at the bottom of this hellish well of suffering, at the end of our fathomless journey into the abyss, at the edge of the frozen lakes of treachery, and our steps must be slow and careful. Take caution not to get too close to the souls frozen beneath the ice, their bloated bodies a putrid shade of grey and veined with purple and green. We must cross the 4 rings of ice, and in the center of the lake is the great throne of the one we seek an audience with. Take my hand. I will try to use some of my magic to keep us warm. Just focus the last of your strength on moving forward, one step at a time. Feeling better? Like a sip of whiskey on a winter's night, or so I have been told. Our paths have been made clear. The grasping hands that protrude from the ice will not snatch at us, and we may pass them unimpeded. Past the traitors to their kindred, the traitors to their country, the traitors to their guests, and finally, the traitors to their lords. Oh? I am fine. Do not worry about me. Just do not forget all that we have faced together. All that we have overcome together. No matter what happens, know that you are my first true friend I have been blessed with in 1,000 upon 1,000 years. And I will do all I can to ensure that all of us leave with what we came here for.
So, you finally stand before me, Lilith. And you bring this amusement with you.
We have traveled far, Morningstar, seeking the misplaced soul of my thrall's beloved. I believe she lies within your grasp. I have come to ask of you to let her return to the mortal realm and grant us passage back to the gates, so that my thrall's promise to me may be fulfilled and our pact completed. She is but one soul, of no particular gravitas or value to you, and I ask that you grant us this boon as a reflection of our camaraderie built over the centuries.
You ask much of me, old friend. While there is little love in my heart, what is left of it, I will perhaps grant to you. Tell me, wanderer, is this the soul you seek?
What's going on? It cannot be.
I can tell by the agony in your eyes and the recognition in hers. This is indeed your lovely bride I hold in my claws. But this has just made her all the more valuable. And I cannot grant this boon simply because you are bound by Lilith's pact. Try to pluck at my heartstrings all you want, but it will not soften my resolve. Then again, were it not for you, dearest Lilith, I would not have noticed this beautiful soul.
Wanderer, it is not how it sounds.
Oh? You didn't know? Poor, poor little mortal.
Please,
That's enough from you for now. You, wanderer, I think you deserve a little honesty. Once upon a time, there was a soul that was just like all the others. Unremarkable, ordinary, another victim of divine hypocrisy. But her place was decided by Minos, and she was sent to the woods of the suicides. Enter dear Lilith, who was being ever so kind and making her way down to visit me, when she noticed a new soul starting to take root. Curiosity taking hold, she makes her way to the soul and drinks in her remarkable beauty. She speaks to her, basks in her loveliness, and then goes on her merry way. I do enjoy my little talks with Lilith. Being frozen to my waist in this eternal prison limits how much of my domain I can behold with my own two eyes. So, she is often one to tell me of great sights she has seen, how my reign continues to deliciously twist and corrupt all souls I hold dominion over. Then, She speaks of an especially lovely soul that has graced my realm with her presence. And even then, I could see the idea blossoming behind her eyes. Lilith knows much of the way that mortals' minds work, predicting behavior and playing them like the great seductress she is. And a soul that sweet, a soul that out of place, well, there's a good chance that someone will be seeking to return her to the realm of mortals. Someone foolish. Someone desperate. And it appears that she found exactly what she was hoping for. A naive, romantic fool. All too willing to do whatever it takes to rescue the one you love from my sinister clutches. All she had to do was linger by the gates of hell and wait for you to arrive. I admire her in some regards. Her ambition, her wit, her charm. It's evident that she really wanted you to trust her, taking on aspects of your beloved's appearance. Did you really think that she wasn't aware of what she was doing? Subtly shifting her appearance in order to comfort you, make you more pliable to her desires. Oh, that's not true, is it? Well, why don't we ask her ourselves?
Wanderer, are you all right? What does that look for?
I can see why you made a pact with this particular soul. Their expressions are so very amusing.
What did you speak of? You cast me away for what felt like an eternity. I sensed frustration, confusion. My friend, what is wrong?
We just had a little talk, that's all. Of how you turned my gaze toward a particularly lovely soul. Now you have this clever trick to make mortals more comfortable around you. I thought that some clarity was needed.
Funny. You only offer clarity when meddling with other demons' pacts, not your own.
It is I who hold this mortal's beloved in the palm of my hand. I am as much involved in this pact as you are, old friend. Now, if you truly desire her soul, then speak true. Did you inform me of this soul with the intent of making a pact with the one who ventured into my infernal kingdom to rescue her?
Yes.
Did you shift your form to play to their innermost desires?
Yes.
Did you twist their mind, seduce them, break them in order to get what you want?
No. Wanderer, I swear to you, I may have deceived you. I may have known of your beloved long before we met, but after all this time, all that we have endured, all that we have faced side by side, the bond between us is as real as the blood in your veins and the ice on your tears. I am so sorry.
That is the first time I have heard you apologize in over 1,000 years. How interesting. I must say that this is the most entertainment I have had in a very, very long time. You, little mortal, have moved Lilith, the first and true wife, the one who would not kneel, the stealer of youth and the flame of feminine desire and strength, beauty and sin in immortal flesh. You have moved her tears. Tell me, mortal, after her lies, after guiding me to your beloved soul, after all that she has done, do you still care for Lilith? Yes. Why is that? Because she is truly sorry for what she has done. How can you tell? She is ancient and well versed in the art of deception. What makes you think this? You can feel it? How?
Of course, our pact is no longer just a pact. It is an empathetic bond. Their emotions are my emotions, and now mine are theirs. This does not undo what I did, but I ask for your forgiveness.
Even after venturing all this way, your merciful heart has not fully faded, little mortal. I'm almost impressed. Yes, enough of my teasing. As this pretty soul is of such a value to you, I will be willing to part with it in exchange for something of value to me. Your soul? How quick you are to martyr yourself for love. No. I want something more. What I want is an investment.
What do you mean?
As you were the one to turn my gaze to this mortal's beloved, Lilith, I think you will be the one to pay the price.
What is it that you want of me?
I can sense your imagination spiraling into so many deliciously twisted coils. But all I ask from you, Lilith, is a favor. One favor that I can ask from you at any point from now until eternity.
What kind of favor?
Whatever I wish it to be. Just know that at some point in the future I will invoke this favor, and you will not be able to refuse me. These are my terms. If you refuse, I will snuff this pretty soul out, slay your thrall where they stand, and lock you back in that tomb you spent an eternity in. So, what do you say?
On the condition that you grant us safe passage out of hell, return the soul of my thrall's beloved to the mortal realm unblemished, and grant my thrall and their descendants protection against all demonic influences. I will agree to your terms.
Wonderful. Now then, give me your hand.
Very well. Let us shake on this.
Oh no. I know your favorite way to seal a deal. I look forward to kissing this hand again, my dear, when I invoke my favor.
Always the gentleman, even in this frozen prison and bound by chains.
But of course. And I am looking forward to witnessing the work that will be done by these lovely hands. Now that the deal is made, I will honor my side. Wanderer, I bequeath to you your beloved, Her soul is unblemished exactly as you remember her. This glowing sphere is her soul. Carry it close to your heart all the way home, and when you cross the threshold, she will be in your arms once again. And now, to return you to the gates of my kingdom. I'll be seeing you soon, Lilith. Have fun up there. But not too much fun.
You did it. You did it. I cannot believe it. You have her soul in your hands. We stand back at the gates. You made it. Through literal hell and back, you made it. And now you stand before the gates, as they open wide to welcome you back to your realm. Now, will you take my hand and fulfill your promise to me? I understand your hesitation after all that has been said, but please, as a friend, I ask you to hold to your promise. Take my hand and lead me out of this nightmare. I have been trapped here for so long. Thank you. All that time in the darkness, in the filth and the heat and the screams, I had forgotten the songs of the birds, the scent of the trees, the gentle touch of the wind. I suppose this is where we part, dear wanderer. The pact is complete, and you are now free. Our connection will linger for the next few years, but over time, you will no longer feel our empathetic connection. I will miss you, my friend. My final gift to you is an aura of passage, which will speed your steps home and ensure no troublemakers stop you on the way. Your mortal lives may be brief, but I know that you will make the most of the time you have left in this realm, alongside your beloved. What do I mean? After your ordeal, after all that you have seen, those scars may not be evident on your skin, but they will linger in your mind. The nightmares will be truly awful, but at least you have each other, right? Oh, that look in your eye. Do not worry, sweet wanderer. All will be well, but allow yourself time to heal. What will I do now that I am out of hell? Well, I have several thousands of years of history to catch up on. People to meet, power structures to infiltrate. So I had best be on my way. Sweet dreams, my friend. May our paths cross again, but not too soon.